Good morning again. Um, Thank you, Sherry and Justin and our music team for bringing us to this place in our service. Today is our fourth Sunday in Lent. And as we are delving into this season of releasing and letting go, we are reminded that Jesus let go of worry and that Jesus let go of fear. The Bible implores us to fear not 365 times. That's one for every day of the year. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God. Believe also in me. Jesus said these words to his disciples often. And we see his fearlessness throughout his ministry. And yes, in the final week of his life on earth in the physical body. We clearly see that he saw faith as an antidote to fear. Faith as an antidote to fear. So let us also embrace faith in times of worry, in times of uncertainty, and in times of fear. So today is our third week in this series of the three faces of God. We've made our way over the past 2 weeks exploring God in the third person, God out there, the great web of life, all that is, the allness of God, infinite God. And then last week, Lori explored with you God in the second person, the familiarity of spirit, friend, beside you always, intimate God. And today we're delving into God in the first person, the great I am, where we live and move and have our being. The essence of the divine within us and expressing as us. This is the world of unity. We love this aspect of the divine. And we revel in it, and we are delighted to our very core every time that thought comes to us, that God is everywhere present, and that that presence is within me and within all, and that presence is good. Do you recall the first time you heard that message? How old you were, perhaps, or where you were, what was going on in your life at the time? I recall the first time I heard that message and really heard it. And I tell you what, my life was a hot mess. I had visited the Unity Church a couple of times in the past, but this time I got it. And I clung to it for dear life. Do you recall the feeling associated when you really got that message? It's the second unity principle. And I believe it is the essential message of the one we know as Jesus Christ. The good news that he shared, the good news that the kingdom of God, that heaven is at hand, is near, is here. You see, Jesus was a Jew, and the Hebrews were waiting to be freed, to be saved from oppression. They were waiting for someone else to do the work. They were waiting for a warrior king slash God. And Jesus Christ, the Christ consciousness that recognized his oneness with the divine, also recognized that the work to be done to free ourselves from oppression of any and every kind is an inside job. It's up to each one of us to do the work, to free our consciousness from error thoughts, from judgments, from creating a them and an us, of thoughts of separation, thoughts that are based on fear, belief systems that we grew up with that do not apply. For Jesus taught love. So when someone asks me if I have been saved, And I have been asked, and I'm sure you have been asked the same thing. It's an interesting question, isn't it? And I know what they mean, or I think I know what they mean. And that is not my definition of being saved. For to me, to be saved is to know that the Spirit of God, the essence of the divine, is good and everywhere present, even and most especially within myself. That God the good, has always been, will always be present with me. I don't have to earn it. I don't have to pay for it. It is my birthright, and it has always been so, even when my life was a hot mess. Even when I wasn't sure who I was or where I was going. God, the very essence of the divine, right where I was and right where I am. I have been saved from the feeling of abandonment. I've been saved from the feeling of a distance from the God of my understanding. Saved from thinking I've been watched and judged by God and found sorely lacking. Saved from believing I'm a sinner and hellbound. Saved from believing anyone else is hellbound. That reminds me of a t-shirt I saw once. It said, "Where are we going and why am I in this handbasket?" I've been saved from damnation, saved from being condemned to eternal punishment. And all I had to do was open my heart to the first unity principle. There's only one presence and one power active as the universe and as my life. God, the good, omnipotent. And then move into the second. We are created in the image of God, and our very essence is divine. Therefore, we are inherently good. No hell, no devil, no damnation, no power separate, equal, and apart from the divine. My battle, your battle, if there is one, is to calm and tame the ego of the human nature, for we are also human, and to open the space and claim the divine, for we are also divine, of who I am to be revealed. So it's to calm the ego and claim the divine. Calm the ego and claim the divine. Say that with me. Calm the ego, claim the divine. Again, calm the ego, claim the divine. I'm going to ask you one more time with zeal and enthusiasm. Calm the ego and claim the divine. One presence, one power, God the good within all. And this knowing is empowering. And yes, it's also a bit scary. Marianne Williamson wrote in her book, Return to Love, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. Thank you, Marianne. Our playing small does not serve the world. The essence of the divine does not play small, does not hide or minimize or deflect. The divine essence of our being knows only love, knows only light, and exists only to shine. That innermost God, the divine love, divine light, it seeks to express itself through us, through you and I, as purely as possible. And our human nature, our individual personality, that's the lens through which this divine essence shines through. And that lens is not a distortion. although our ego can be, but it doesn't have to be. Our lens is rather a very personal, individualized, truly brilliant, and unique channel through which spirit flows as you and as me. For the innermost God, the God of our being, is not meant for us alone. It is not meant to be contained. And I know it can be tempting because I've been there to spend days in prayer and meditation, to bask in the essence of the divine, and to simply be in the safety of wherever you are, not reading or watching the news, not disturbed by the happenings in our world, simply to send love outward to everyone on the planet, to our entire planet. And this is honorable. And there's that word again, and our world needs more if you are able. Our world needs hands and feet moving and giving and comforting and nurturing. Our world needs your voice, your power, your expression of the divine. Our world needs you, and it needs me, living these beliefs as only you and I can live them, being the presence of spirit wherever we are and everywhere we are. I share a quote by William Thoms, and yes, that's Thoms like my maiden name. William Thoms was a British writer in the middle to the late 1800s who used the pseudonym Ambrose Merton. And he stated, "Be careful how you live. You will be the only Bible some people ever read." Well, I'm going to expand upon that. You are the Bible, if that is their reference. You are the Jesus, the Christ, if that is their reference. You are the Quran, the Buddha, the Guru, the deity, the Rigveda. You are expressing the divine that is ultimately and remarkably you. Now, I know that's a lot, but you still have love work for this week. Take time to speak to yourself, to say aloud or in your mind, I am the presence of the divine essence of God, spirit, all that is, divine love, divine light, expresses through me, as me. Innermost God, right here, right now. And as you release your items this week, wherever you are, you don't have to be in Key West to participate in the 40 days of giveaway. I'm using the Habitat for Humanity Restore thrift store that's near us here. As you release your items during these weeks, say to yourself, I let go of worry and I let go of fear. Now, part of that fear might be wrapped around you're releasing something that you might need someday, that you really might need. And there could be some wisdom in that. But most often, it's a fear of lack. So ask yourself, can I replace this if I need it again? Do I need to hang on to this because of a lack mentality? And then again, say to yourself, I let go of worry. I let go of fear. I bless others with these items. I am abundantly blessed, and I am aware of the innermost God, my divine nature. Now, this morning, we are celebrating two groups of people who have chosen one way to express their divinity. The first are our new or returning members. And so Linda DeVore, I believe you are out there in the congregation today. Would you please come forward to be recognized? Linda completed the new member classes with me and made the decision to become an official member of Unity of the Keys. And Richard Puente and Deb Bent. Deb could not be here this morning, but Richard, would you please come forward to be recognized? Both Richard and Deb made the decision to renew their active membership to Unity of the Keys after being inactive for a period of time. And so Linda and Richard, would you please face me? We unite so that we have a place to work together, a community in which to commit so that we can help one another in prayers, in thoughts, in spiritual powers. For in this manner, we strive to become a force for good. In our unity of purpose and our love of God and as dedicated students of truth, we believe in the revealment of truth, that this comes from within us and that this is the rock on which the one and only Church of Christ is built. We believe that the church is not really a place, but always a people. Never a sacred building, but always a believing and beloved assembly. The church is you who pray, not where you pray. Unity means oneness, and we create this unity by bringing with us our various backgrounds to blend together in the name of the living Christ consciousness. And so, Linda and Richard, please turn now and face the congregation. Look at the faces of those who have already become or will become close to you as we all journey together. And feel the acceptance and the love that is flowing freely from every heart to yours right now. Friends in spirit, as minister of this church, it is my privilege on behalf of its membership to receive you into full and active membership of the church. And to the congregation of Unity of the Keys, please welcome our newest members. And now let's rub those hands together, raise our palms in acceptance as we affirm, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. And you may return to your seats. The second group being installed today is our Board of Trustees of 2024. The individuals that the membership of the church voted in at our February annual membership meeting. And so would our board members please come forward and face the congregation? The board has met and had the opportunity to vote on officers. And so we have Kathy Sempert serving as our board president. And by this position, she is also a member of our finance team. We have Erin Andes, who is serving as our vice president. And Janet Smith is serving as our treasurer, and by this position, as chair of our finance team. Kevin Beatty is serving as our secretary. Nancy Mishka is serving as a member at large. And Deborah Butler, who is with us today via Zoom, is serving as a member at large also. So now please turn and face me. We acknowledge this sacred commitment. We honor your willingness to bless Unity of the Keys through your service on our Board of Trustees. So as you prepare yourself to serve in this capacity, will you always look to the indwelling Christ Spirit for wisdom, guidance, and inspiration? Please answer with, I will. And so we are now prepared to empower the board to act in this important position. For not only do these board members oversee the business affairs of the church, but their individual and collective awareness, along with the minister, establishes a consciousness for the entire congregation. Recognizing the authority you have entrusted in them, we now charge them with this responsibility. And so Kathy, Erin, Janet, Kevin, Deborah, and Nancy, I ask you, do you promise to follow the light of truth, seeking at all times to be aware of what is right rather than who is right? Please answer with, we do. Do you accept Reverend Daybree as your minister and spiritual leader? And Kathy Sempert, as the board president, will you do all within your power to continue to lead this board with integrity and great faith into the path of loyalty and unity, demonstrating such a strength and steadfastness, purpose, and practice that this church shall stand as a shining light of truth to the world? Please answer, I will. Each of these board members and officers have accepted these responsibilities with thoughtfulness and recognition of the humbling honor it is to work with and support this beloved community. Now please turn and face the congregation again. And so to the members of this church, you are the voice of the church. You are the ambassadors of unity of the keys in this community. You are the backbone and the volunteers giving service. Together, we are a mighty force for good, for God. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the newly forged Board of Directors for Unity of the Keys Spiritual Center. Let us rub our hands together again as we bless them and say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. And so it is.